Caroline, we're wrapping up a consultation on joy in adolescence, and it was really a great gift for you to join us as someone who's thought deeply about this, but also who's someone who's actively engaged in a robust youth ministry for the past 7 years. One of the questions we raised up today was how joy so often draws us into communion, brings us out of ourself and into relationship. And in youth ministry, it's often enough on our plate, in our job description, to help facilitate and nurture that coming together in the horizontal dimension of love of neighbor, love of the community, embrace and acceptance of the other folks in the youth group. But you wanted to stress today that we better be equally attentive to the vertical dimension about how joy draws us into relationship with God. Tell us more about your concern.
Sure. In working with young people, at least half the time we're worried about and thinking about, and they are worried and thinking about, what is that shadow side of joy? What is the lack of or the absence of? And they feel it acutely, and they feel it often, and it's not continuous or pervasive, but the things that I hear and see and witness to are fear of being alone, and what that looks like on a day-to-day, situational experience. Am I going to sit alone today? Am I going to go home and no one will be there? Will I be alone? If she breaks up with me, if he breaks up with me, will I be alone? And then I think they fear disappointing. And I think those two things are tied, right? And so to not be alone, they have to perform and to not disappoint. And so I see our young people performing and trying to read who others need them to be and who they think they're supposed to be. And maybe that's part of identity making it and trying to figure out who they are. And I think there's an element of that. But my fear is that they're letting others prescribe who they should be and how they should be. And they're looking and searching for the authentic, but in so many places that my concern is they don't know it when they see it, and there's so many pitfalls to places saying that can be authentic, and maybe it's not. So that is what I think threatens their joy and diminishes their joy is fear and disappointment and being alone, and so. To offer them places of refuge from that, where they can be with one another, where they can be in honest conversation about that and realize that the piece of me that deeply fears this is actually reflected in you, and that is shared and not, I don't have to hold it alone. And in that pain and in that vulnerability, we even see joy break out. It looks different than some of the other joys and exuberances of young people, but it is as real and definitely as transformative. Because it maybe exists in that fear.